Good morning. Hi, Josh. This is your dad. And we're going to start your lesson today by, um, by sharing with you this concept about being faithful. And I woke up this morning. You're still in bed. I know you slept late, waiting up for us, and I'm giving you more sleep. So while you're sleeping, I'm going to just talk a little about being faithful versus being successful. In life, a lot of people chase success. But what I've discovered is that what really matters is that not just success, but being faithful. And I'm going to talk about being faithful to your calling. And I pray that you pray and ask God for your calling in life. Now, just want to share with you this concept about being faithful. Okay. And I wrote in my journal this morning these thoughts. So, okay. So I'll share with you. I'll share this thought with you, and hopefully we can discuss it later as we start our homeschool. Right? So this is what I wrote. It says, we've been called to be faithful and not just successful. Because if I'm not faithful to my calling and giftedness, even though I'm successful at what I'm doing, then I will feel unfulfilled and empty. Now, let me illustrate that with a little story. When I was working hard in a company called Salt and Light, remember that company? We were bringing in John Maxwell and organizing all these successful learning events, and even one entrepreneur year. But in my heart, I felt unfulfilled and not really at peace. I was fulfilled with all the success that the business brought in, inspiring people. We were profitable, making money, providing for the family. But I know in my heart that God called me to be a writer. That was my primary calling. And I know that I wasn't practicing it and writing the books that I wanted to write. And I just prayed and asked God, God, what do you want me to do? And you know the story. That was a time when I was in Israel, and I knelt down and asked God, what do you want me to do with my life? And he sent a messenger. I'll tell this in more detail later. And Pastor David Davis was right there behind me, and he told me, "You are a writer, and you are a writer for the Lord." And I just remembered what the Lord had spoken to me a few years ago about when I asked Him what He wanted me to do and what was my calling. He led me to Psalm 26, verse 7, which says, "And I shall publish with the voice of thanksgiving and speak of all Thy wondrous works." That was so clear. And so when I was in Israel, a successful entrepreneur, I had to ask them. So, even though you are successful and people, clap at you and applaud you and say, good job, nothing else matters than hearing from the Lord, well done, good and faithful servant. He wants you to be faithful to your calling and follow it. Lastly, you may be successful in your calling, successful in your work. I don't know if God wants you to be a vlogger in the future, a film director, entrepreneur, pastor, or speaker like your dad. Though I am a writer for the Lord first and foremost. Even though you're successful in that, but you are unfaithful to your family, your wife, then it doesn't matter. You're still a failure in life. So remember, you're called to be faithful. I love you, Josh, and see you later. Bye. Be faithful.